Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Pink. So this is a few hours after I got out of the theater to see the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1 movie. I went with my boy Victor. We kind of just did this like last minute. We're like, hey, yo, this shit about to like run out of theaters probably within like the week or so. So let's try to watch it while we can. I've seen a lot of people that I know who I was surprised are into anime, or at least it looks like they're open to like watching the mainstream shit. One of the biggest mainstream animes out right now is Demon Slayer, because it's just easy to get into. I guess the story, I don't want to say is a bit generic, although that's like a very common thing I've heard about when criticizing Demon Slayer. Like, yeah, it's not the most original, but it's fine for what it is. I feel like some people are just too fucking elitist, in my opinion. Everyone's definition of mid, instead of it meaning average, which is what it's supposed to mean, mid is now just bad. Whenever people say something is mid, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. Which I saw a homeboy of mine, he's probably gonna see this video too. I want to pick his brain about this when I see him either tomorrow or the day after, since we're gonna hang out for a bit, because he saw it and he said that it was mid. Meanwhile, because I'm not sure, they might be casuals, they might be just really into Demon Slayer. I've seen like nothing but praise for this movie, and I was like, oh shit, okay, so it must be like really good. I read ahead in the manga like last year, almost I think a year and a half ago, and yeah, the ending wasn't super great, but I don't think it was terrible either. The epilogue, while unnecessary, was cute, but I could care less for it either way. I was like, oh, cool little extra thing, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I'm curious as if they're gonna add that towards like the final movie, in case like they want to do like extra shit or whatever. If you've gotten this far in the video and you're just like, hey, you're not gonna spoil the movie. Yeah, I'm gonna spoil the fucking movie. Get out there and go watch it, so you don't go and complain, even though the manga's been out for like the longest time. Like, it's been done. You could have caught up and read. Shut up. I wanted to go into it with an open mind, because I know animation wise it's going to be good anyway, because like Ufotable, even with the anime series, has proven that they can make shit dynamic, can be really creative when it comes to like camera movement and just in presentation in general. Now, I haven't seen any of the Fate series, like Unlimited Blade Works, Stay Night, whatever the fuck, because I don't know shit about Fate, even though my buddy Vic wants me to get into it. Movie starts out pretty simple. Starts with the old dude with the sickness, and he's like, yo, so like I'm only gonna tell you, but like I think it's pretty obvious I'm fucking dying, so use me as bait and like kill this motherfucker, essentially. And then the big dude's just like, okay. My only gripe is that, like, cool, I get that's like a little preface for the movie, but like that slow motion pan around turn shot of him, unnecessary. You wasted like a minute or so of animation, but whatever, it's such a nitpick. What I've been hearing about this movie is that it's gonna be non-stop action, so I was hyped, because like I know that there were going to be a bunch of fights. There's an anime page that I follow that was like spoiling the entire fucking movie, which granted I already read everything, so I know what's going to happen, even though I don't know the exact and minute detail. But kind of sucks, like, hey, this fight and this fight and this fight, and then this thing happens and blah 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 blah. I don't like being spoiled, especially something that I'm like gonna be way into. Like, as a quick tangent, I had a coworker when I was first getting into One Piece. He would like to sprinkle in like fake spoilers for some reason. I think like either just before or a little after the time skip, before they get into Kuma's backstory, when Saint Saturn shows up on Egghead, I think around that time. And my coworker would just be like, you know there's a yokai fruit? It's like, shut the fuck up. I don't care whether there is one or not, and haha, it turns out there isn't, but shut up. I want to read. I was reading it. I was speed reading it. Fun fact, if you've never seen any of my videos, I caught up on like 1,100 whatever chapters of One Piece within 3 months, and I could have done 2 if I was crazier, but I did it within 3. I was reading like 40 chapters a day. If you haven't gotten into One Piece, I would recommend reading it, because that is the fastest way to get caught up. Each chapter is like 20 pages. Anyway, back to Demon Slayer. Shout out to Ufotable, first and foremost, because I would hope they're not slaving their people away like Mappa. but holy shit, obviously there's going to be a lot of 3D in this movie, and I don't mind it. Unless, like, it looks really bad, like, if we're talking about, like, haha, Berserk 2016, 2017 level of bad CG, which that show would have been so much better if they just stuck with the 2D. I was one of the poor saps that I was like, oh, Berserk, I always wanted to get into it, and I watched that. I will say it was average. It wasn't, like, terrible, but it looked like shit when you think about, like, 3D anime. Because, like, there's a lot of, at least at the time, there were a couple 3D anime, fully 3D anime that were pretty decent. Like, what we had fucking Studio Orange with Beastars, Land of the Lustrous, I forget what studio did it. It might have been Production IG, but Ajin, well, like it can work. You just need to do it well. And whatever company did Berserk back in 2016 did not look the greatest. And also, as a fun jab, because fuck that anime, GBA also had like terrible CGI, but it was just a bad show in general. It was just stupid. If someone ever recommends that show to you, they're not your friend. Anyway, back to Demon Slayer again. 3D environments, super fucking cool, especially how they flexed on how intricate they could make the Infinity Castle design, because it's just buildings and buildings and more morph and expand and all this other shit. The 2D characters don't look like unnatural in the environment, except for like maybe a few things. I mentioned it with Vic after we got out of the movie. Like, the only thing that looked weird to me, but it's really just a nitpick, was like when I think it was when Tanjiro and Giyu were like running through like a hall, or maybe it was Tomioka and Kyome, the stone Hashira guy, were running through, and there were like explosions in the hallway. But to be fair, everything's like pre-rendered in like 3D or whatever, so I'm not gonna nitpick at that. I was surprised that the Aimer song played so early in the beginning of the movie. Because, like, you know, they use it for the trailer. I thought that was gonna come up with like a really big moment during like one of the fights, but no, it was just like while they're showing how huge the Infinity Castle is, which I found kind of interesting, where it's just Aimer for like a minute and a half, and then she's just gone. Then we get the rest of the OST, which was really great, by the way. First fight that we get is Doma, Upper Moon 2, whatever the fuck, the really sadistic cult leader dude, and he's fighting Shinobu. I remember this fight being really cool. I do like that they show how fucked up demons can be, because as much as like we were shown throughout the story, like, oh, demons are really fucked up, we never really see them like eating people. So I did like that they included that, especially with how fucked up Doma is, because he's apathetic and just doesn't care, with the excuse of, I'm doing it for the betterment of everyone, please feed into my cult so I can eat you type shit. And then when they showed his backstory, of course, I'm so smart and my parents are dumb and they made a cult about me and everyone else is dumb. All of a sudden I'm a demon now. Hee. With Shinobu's fight, obviously she's not the strongest, which like she like mixes poisons and shit, and you know, we get her story, like, oh, they killed her sister and that's what motivates her to fucking kill demons, and oh, lo and behold, the big demon dude is the one that killed her sister. Whoa. Oops. And you know, typical anime like motivation type thing, like, oh, you killed my family, I'm gonna kill you. I do like the way they handle it. I felt bad, because for those that have I would hope that you're not watching this without watching the movie, but Shinobu fucking dies. Like, she gets destroyed. Vic nudged me and I was like, yo, what's up? And he's like, the girl next to me, who I think was like a high schooler, is crying. And I don't know if this is like baby's first anime movie, or maybe she just really likes Shinobu, even though she's a very sadistic character. So like, if she's her favorite, I got some questions. I don't remember every detail since I've watched and read so many anime and manga, but I thought immediately Tanjiro was gonna help out the Doma fight, but I think it's gonna be Inosuke, but we'll see that in like the next movie. Especially, I'm excited for his fight too, because I remember his backstory was pretty fucked. With what they did, I love that they showed how fucked up Doma can be, with like, oh, poor you know, you're weak as shit, but you still tried, and he like hugs her to death and like breaks her fucking neck. And it was funny hearing the other people in the audience like audibly gasp. The only complaint with my experience watching the movie was that people kept adjusting their chairs way too fucking much. Hearing the people doing the like, you know, the adjustments of the seat and all that shit just got a tiny bit annoying. Other than that, what I will appreciate is that even though they're showing like the jobber slash fodder characters, I do appreciate that they're actually showing them fight and even helping the other Hashira. Obviously, yeah, you know, this is like the final war, this is the big fight and everything. It's like, oh, cool. The other people who kind of don't mean shit are actually helping. Getting into Zenitsu's fight, I was excited for because I remember it was pretty quick, but it was very effective, and it kind of was. It's the contrast that they both have. Like, you know, they come from the same origin, same teacher type of thing, except one veered on the wrong path, that type of story. What I really like is that Zenitsu, he was annoying as fuck to me when he was first introduced, but as soon as he got a bit more character development, like especially towards like the end of the last season, and they had that one shot of him locking the fuck in and he kept that same energy the entire movie, I really appreciated that, and that made me like Zenitsu a bit more. Although honestly, I think my favorite character is Inosuke because I just love that dumb boy, and he just has like a lot of crazy chaotic energy, and I like that a lot. We know like what the movie's gonna focus on, these three big fights. I do like that we're interspliced between like other characters because of course, you know, there's a lot of shit happening at once. Let's get into Zenitsu's fight. Obviously, he only knows like one technique, and that one technique is the foundation of his thunder breathing thing. Meanwhile, the other dude can do every other technique except for the one for some reason. Gaku, I think his name was. He's like, man, fuck this old dude, man. Fuck. I want to be strong. And so he gets, he meets the Upper Moon 1 guy. I forget his name at the moment. I'll get back to like a detail about him later, but he meets him. He's like, drink the blood, pussy. Since you want to be so strong, drink it. And don't waste it, if not, I'll fucking kill you. Boy drinks it. Becomes a demon. I do like that he mentions that even though they hated each other, Zenitsu still had respect for him because he's like, look, you're strong, and our old dude that was teaching us wants us both to succeed. He wants both of us to be successors since we kind of complete each other in a way. But the other dude was like, nah, fuck you, you weak, bitch ass. And then Zenitsu pulls out his fucking like original move. And you know, the fight kind of ends quick there, but I do love the way that they handled it because like, one, of course, the animation is going crazy. And also, I feel bad because this is during this is the scene where that one guy pissed in the movie theater and then got beat the fuck up, which I shouldn't laugh, but come on, bro. I mentioned in my Gurren Lagann vlog that I almost pissed myself, but I went to go miss the big climax, the big moment of the fucking Tengen Toppan ultimate fucking Gurren Lagann thing, and I took the risk of missing a few minutes just so I wouldn't piss myself. Anyway, after that, we get Tanjiro and Giyu helping each other, finding out, like, you know, the tinier jobber demons. And there's a lot that I'm forgetting about this story, but I, for some reason, thought that we were gonna go straight into the Upper Moon 1 guy. But I was wrong, because Akasa's ass shows up, and he's like, "What's up? I'm gonna fuck your ass up." And the fight goes crazy with, like, his, like, energy blast thingies that he's doing. Like his way of fighting, and, like, that, also, the fighting was just so good, dude. Like, that's, like, the best part of the movie. We get into Tanjiro immediately being like on some "nah, fuck this guy" timing and trying to use like his big moves, but of course he can't. Giyu gets some slashes in, they both get fucked up, and eventually Tanjiro, while Giyu's trying to like keep him at bay, finds out how to fucking beat him, and of course it's through the power of Ultra Instinct. And I do like the way that it was presented in this movie. Vic thought that it was going to be like a black and white type thing, because a lot of animes do tend to do that when they're like, oh, we gotta transcend through the senses. But the way that they did it was like everything just kind of became transparent and like a bluish color, which looked pretty cool too. I love the presentation in that. Eventually Tanjiro, you know, figures out how to beat him, slices his head off, but Akaza does not want to go down. He gets his head sliced off, and the dude's like, he grabs his own head, he's like, nah, and tries to regenerate by sticking it back on his neck. And hearing what I assume would be the anime onlys in the corner, like, oh my god, yo, that's crazy. I mean, I'm just loving like the fight. And then we just get into Akaza's backstory, which, aside from the movie being like fast paced and like action packed, it slows the fuck down. And I think like the last 20 to 30 minutes are purely just Akaza backstory, which, granted, it's a good backstory. Except I didn't know that the girl that he was gonna marry was a fucking minor. Do with that what you will. Granted, he had like, you know, he was a criminal. He wanted to save his dad, and the world is basically out to get him because he gets beaten the fuck up. He can't save his dad. His dad dies. He ends up taking care of this sickly girl, who I guess at some point she falls in love with him for whatever reason, and the old dude is like, yo, you're cool, dude, I'm gonna spar with you and train you how to fight and shit. And you know, he ends up getting closer to these people. He ends up wanting to marry the minor, and then he goes to visit his dad's grave and comes back, and both the girl and the guy and the girl's dad are dead. Which, a fun fact, because I used to see it posted everywhere, that dude is voiced by Channing Tatum in the dub for some reason. I don't know if I was out of focus this entire time. You know, it's a good backstory. I just feel like they could have trimmed the fat a bit. We got what we got, and it served as a good payoff kind of thing. Even though we could have saved like maybe 10 minutes of the movie just to get to, you know, the ending faster. But overall, the movie is really good. I would say, yeah, the movie's good. Like, if you're a fan of Demon Slayer, you're gonna have to watch it because they're ending the series with movies anyway. But if you're a casual, I feel like the movie can stand on its own, but it's not gonna make any sense. None of the payoff. Okay, never mind that it can't stand on its own because you have no context. You can't just, I never watched Demon Slayer. Let's watch the final part of it. Oh, that was stupid of me. Anyway, I do want to mention this movie is like 80% background farming. Like it's like wallpaper galore because it's a pretty movie. There are so many shots that just look so pretty, and I just kept thinking, I'm like, dude, this would be sick as like a phone or like laptop screensaver. Wallpaper, whatever people call it now. I call it a screensaver because I'm old. Shout out to Kevin, one of the guys I met back at the auto concert. Who knows when that video is coming out, because I'm gonna try to post this on Saturday, the week of. I'm gonna try to edit this because I want to post more, but I'm also lazy with editing, and this is just a talking head video, so it's way easier to edit. Shout out to Kevin, because like when I posted I was gonna go watch the movie with Vic, he was like, yo, post your thoughts, make a video. So shout out to you, Kevin. This is mainly for you. Movie was good. I love the action. I can't wait for the next one. So we'll see that in 2 years. Yeah, let me know what you thought of the movie. Did you like it? Do you have any gripes with it? Is there something that could have improved the movie? Is there something that maybe you didn't like that they maybe didn't do or did do? Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. You know, see you whenever the fuck I upload again. Bye. Also, stream my music, please. I like when people listen to my stuff. I also just realized after filming that I didn't mention the last thing. It kind of made no sense at the end of the movie with showing the full frontal view of the Upper Moon guy's face. I'm forgetting his name, when he finds out that Akaza's dead. Like the way that they pan the shot is just like mostly his hand, and then they show his face again. So I'm like, why is it like a double reveal? We already saw his face before. Maybe if they just obscured his face or just showed the back of his head during Kaigoku's flashback, then I feel like that would have been better for the anime onlys, because, you know, ooh, why does he have hair that looks like Tanjiro's? And I just wanted to like throw in like a tiny little fun mini story in the movie where someone ended up falling asleep and snoring loud as shit. So a joke that I made was the snore Hashira with his sleep breathing first form 20-minute nap, because whoever was sleeping went on for a minute, and most of the people in the theater were laughing, and I felt kind of bad, but that shit was funny. That's it. Thanks. Bye. Just stream my music. Bye. Love you. The uwu.